Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's Saturday. That means it's BOLO Day. We show you some great things that sold over on eBay. We're doing this during the Christmas season, so I'm sure there's some spectacular sales Mr. Magazine is bringing.
Oh, sorry.
So bring those spectacular sales, Mr. Magazine.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, we have here New York Yankees 1952 sketchbook, American League 50th season. Took about a little over a year to sell this. We had a sale on it, so we got about $75 for it.
Now, what is a sketchbook? Is that a program? Or
It's a program, yep. I think it comes out before the World Series. Oh, no, it comes out after. I'm sorry. It comes out after the World Series. So we got the World Series program, and then that comes out afterwards.
So it kind of explains what happened during the year and all that fun stuff. Ah, interesting.
Front and back, nothing on the inside, which probably you'd want to put anything else that's Mickey Mantle picture, anything like that probably should go in there as well. But maybe that's why it took so long. But it's in good shape. You know, it doesn't look like much, but if you see them out there, I'd grab them. All right, next up, the Village Voice magazine. It's an oversized newspaper magazine. We got the contents here. December 9, 1997. Reverend Al. That's what they just left it. Reverend Al.
Oh, wow.
Not Sharpton or anything else like that, but Reverend Al. And I think I took about $40 on this one. So they're tough to find. We were asking like $55.
And I guess that's one of the problems that our generation has versus the next generation. You have younger people listing.
Right, yeah.
And they may not know who Al Sharpton is. And certainly if you threw them in a listing on my on the stuff that I sell, they probably don't know who June Allison is or
Right.
Mary Pickford or any of these other people.
Yeah.
As Mr. Magazine's going, who?
Yeah, and they just went what's on the cover, Reverend Al, and then at the top, Musto. So they put Reverend Al Musto, as a keyword. And, maybe that's why it sold. Who knows?
Yeah,
we
maybe.
will never know. Yeah. So, all right, next up, Carlos Colon, AWA Remco Vintage Figure, 1985. Sold for $85. Can't argue that. Never seen it before. It looks like Apollo Creed a little bit, but what do I know?
How would they have gotten the name of who it was?
That's a good question. Somehow this new lister of mine, I don't know if he does like the Google Lens
okay.
or something, but he figures it all out. Yeah, it's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, good for him, good for me. And next up, Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard, autographed 8x10 photo with JSA COA, and this went for $200.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's a black and white, but it is a real signature. It's certified, and got $200 out of it. Very cool.
Now, is he a tough signature, obviously?
He must be, I'm assuming. I'm not a big Trekkie fan, but he's definitely gone up in price, I would think, from a few years back. So
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. You know what else is crazy?
What?
Dale Earnhardt, autographed 124 scale, number 3, Monte Carlo. Looks like a Olympic one or something like that, which they failed to mention. But anyways, it did sell for $228.50. I bought a collection of these, and the guy had everything certified with a Notary Republic, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Notary affidavit certificate of authenticity. Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, and let's see what else we got here. Ghost, the real Ghostbusters Kenner lot of 4 figures, and again, I wouldn't know what these were, but somehow my employee did, and good for him, good for me.
Any idea what year those are?
So these have to be after the movie, the first movie. I think they made a cartoon series or something like that on TV, NBC or something in probably 80s, mid-80s, right?
How would those have been released? On card? Or,
yeah, oh yeah.
Or would it have been in a group of 4? Or
That's a very good question for you to research and find out.
I don't deal in toys, so I won't need to. Just curious.
Up, Bob's Big Boy 1972 vintage piggy bank figure. Didn't put the size in there, but they're probably about 10 inches tall. To me, they're very common.
They are common, yeah.
Yep, and that's why we only got $10 for it.
Yep, you'll find those out there. But that's good, though, because you will find those out there. And now you know when you're out at the flea market and somebody's got $5 on it, don't buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what you should buy?
No.
Look magazines.
Really? So I should look at the Look magazine.
You should look at the LQQK magazine.
Oh, yeah.
I only brought this up because Mr. Magazine and I rarely talk before the show. Both of us prefer it that way. But I did ask him. I had somebody who made me an offer of $12 each on 6 Look magazines. Should I take it or not? And he said, yeah, he would have. And I had taken it as well. My thought was this one is up 22, but the other 5 were up since 1920. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Since 2020, the other 5 had been up. And they're not they're not uncommon. They're out there for sure, and I can always end up replacing them. In fact, one of them, I do have a second one already listed up there as well.
Yeah.
So I just said, something, I'd rather move them on out. I'm not making a lot of money on them, but I'm moving stuff out, getting a little bit of room, which is obviously important. And I did make a few dollars. So sometimes you got to just sit down and look at it. Now, if the guy had offered me $12 on one, absolutely not, I would not have taken it. But because he bought 6 of them, I said, yeah, I can end up doing that.
Well, you can finish my sentence. They always say 72 in the hand is better than.
I've never heard this one. I don't know.
Okay, moving on.
Up next, comedy, which is perfectly suited for Mr. Magazine. Not. Do we could still say that? I don't know, but if we do, we just did. July 1955, Bill Ward pin up Patrice Royas.
Oh.
Now, Bill Ward is definitely a name to look for and a person to look for. Bill Ward is very, very popular, and his artwork will look a lot like that. You can tell it's Bill Ward artwork because it's signed in the bottom right-hand corner. I ended up getting a $32 offer on that, and it's just a digest. Yeah. And it really did just sell, I'm sure, because of the Bill Ward portion in there as well. So that is definitely somebody or other that you want to look for. I would say he's probably the most popular of the pinup artists, I would say. Up next, Blaze comic book number 1.
Oh, wow.
1970s fanzine VG Comics, Vrooman Grindle from Castile, New York.
This seems cheap. I mean, I don't know much. I mean, I'm not a fanzine expert, but I price mine higher. Maybe they don't sell, but it just seems like it's a number 1, super rare, $20. Yeah.
And it's well done, too.
It is well done.
Mimeographed. I ended up buying a couple of them at the flea market. The guy had a small pile, like 5 of them, something like that. And he wanted, I think, $1 a piece on them. Oh, nice. So I was happy to move one of them. Yeah. I'm sure whoever has that in their collection is happy as well. I sent them the best one as well. A little trick, if you're going to do something rather like that, as long as there's not a gigantic disparity between condition, take a picture of the worst one, and then if you sell it, send the best one to the guy that buys it. Nobody will ever be upset. I've never, ever had somebody complain, I ordered a VG copy and you sent a very fine copy. I've never had that complaint. It's weird.
No, you're forcing me to grade it.
Up next, the vinyl edition. Have you ever seen this magazine, Mr. Magazine?
I don't believe I have.
March 1978, the Ramones, Talking Heads, Sex Pistols, and Jackie DeShannon. I got $28 out of it. It's got a lot of, it's Talking Heads, Ramones, Sex Pistols, so it's right there. But the interesting thing about it, look at the bottom right-hand corner, Mr. Magazine.
It was free.
There you go. Not anymore. So you just never know on these magazines over here. This was actually put out from a record store, as I remember.
Wow.
You can find stuff like this out there, and don't be dissuaded from listing it because you see the free on there. Next up, I have a very important question for you, Mr. Magazine. Where's Huddles?
Where's Waldo?
Huddles ran him over. Hanna-Barbera, where's Huddles coloring book? I think he's probably going the wrong. You're going the wrong way. How do they know where we're going? Jeez. 1971 Whitman. I put this up because I got the $34 out of it. It is small tear. A few pages are scribbled on. A lot of times people get scared away from coloring books because they are colored. Don't. Obviously, if you find one that's uncolored, that's wonderful. But many of them are already colored anyway, so don't let that scare you away. But the reason why I put this up is I did get my $34 by waiting out my price, and I had multiple offers of like $10 to $15 on it. And I said, that's better than that. I know it's better than that. And sure enough, it was better than that. And the last thing we have today, St. Louis Stars Soccer Club game day program versus the Rochester Lancers, April 19th, 1970. This literally just opens up.
Wow.
Just opens up, and I got $28 out of it. It's uncommon, obviously. Not going to be a lot of those for that early soccer. And I picked up a bunch of soccer stuff all out of one estate and have not listed most of it yet, but having sold this quickly out of the stuff that I listed, said, yeah, I got to get that other, got to find that pile of stuff.
Wow.
Just question which pile it is. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Do hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.